GameCola podcast. Podcast number 100. This is part 1 of 3, and we're excited to be here. We podcast long, we podcast strong. We don't always have a topic, but we hope that's okay. Here's Michael Gray, Paul Franzen, and Christian Porter today. Hello and welcome to GameCola podcast number 100. This is part 1 of 3. There will actually be 3 different podcasts representing the 3 different eras of the podcast. I'm Michael Gray. I was the original host of the podcast in the beginning. I brought my old piano out of storage. Also out of storage, I brought GameCola's creepy old uncles, Paul Franzen and Christian Porter, and, well, me. Today on this episode, we will be talking about Nickelodeon, video games. We'll be talking about Scott Adams' text adventure games. We'll be talking about how we don't like Batman and Phoenix Wright. It's gonna be fun. Hello everybody and welcome to episode 100 of the GameCola podcast. I am Michael Gray, I'll be your host today. With me is Paul Franzen and Christian Porter.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Oh, we blew it already.
It's okay. This isn't an important podcast, nobody's gonna listen to it.
Okay, that's good. I'm Paul Franzen, I'm GameCola's founder and former editor-in-chief, and now I just kind of show up like the weird uncle who thinks he's cool, basically.
And I'm Christian Porter. I used to write for GameCola, and now I am a weird uncle.
It's okay, I'm a weird uncle too. Actually, I felt bad about not writing something for GameCola, so I wrote an article recently making fun of the new Professor Layton game.
Yes, I enjoyed that. about Professor Layton being a deadbeat dad.
Yeah, because next game stars his daughter, who we've never heard of before in any of the games ever.
Yeah, and they had a mobile game like a few years ago, the Layton brothers, starring one or more sons that we'd never heard of before either.
It was one son, and the plot twist is he's got like multiple personality disorder.
Oh, wow, I didn't get that far apparently.
It's revealed at like the very end of the game. Oh, by the way,
yeah,
his evil brother is actually him.
Yeah, no, the Phoenix Wright one is the only Professor Layton game I've ever gotten to the end of. Okay, so I think that's enough video games for now. I wanted to talk about how Legends of the Hidden Temple. Do you guys hear that they're doing a Legends of the Hidden Temple movie?
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Isn't that the best? I'm really excited about this.
Is it like... I didn't hear all the details, though. Is this like a big Hollywood production, or what?
It's just going to be on TV.
That's arguably better.
I mean, it's part of a few. Like, they're also doing a new Hey Arnold movie and allegedly a Rocko's Modern Life movie, which is just fantastic. But
wow.
Legends of the Hidden Temple really, really has me going right now, just for the reason that they like sent a rocket ship to Mars to collect Kirk Fogg to bring him back for this, which I'm just so excited about that.
There's a short film on the internet with Kirk Fogg in it, though, referencing Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a comedy thing. I forget any details about it, but I think it was like... Actually, I think it was him, like, trying to get a date later on post Legends of the Hidden Temple. And he just always went back to, hey, Olmec! Just was always on the game show host mode.
Yeah, a lot of the comments I saw on the trailer for the new movie were like from people who had crushes on Kirk Fogg when they were little, and now they're not as happy. But that's fine. People get old.
I was just going to comment on how weird it is to have a crush on Kirk Fogg growing up, but then I realized the incredible crush I had on Maura Quirk. So.
Well, I can see that. Yeah.
You think Olmec would just be his wingman, and he'd be able to get all the ladies, but no. So, wait. You going back to the Hey Arnold movie, is this like...
Yes.
I mean, are there any details? Because I know what they were going to do was they were originally going to have like a Hey Arnold movie trilogy, but the first Hey Arnold movie bombed, so they turned the second one into the series finale. So is this like the third of the planned trilogy? Or is
Maybe.
it...
I read that it's supposed to take place like... it's supposed to be like a follow-up to the end of the series. Like they said they were going to be answering some questions that were left open. So yeah, I imagine that's the case. There was something about them following up on who Arnold's parents are, I think.
Okay, yeah. So it sounds like it was just the third movie that was originally planned 15 years ago, and now they can make it for super cheap.
But it looks cool. Like I saw some sketches of what the characters are going to look like, and everyone, like they look the same. They're not like, edging them up for the cool kids of 2016, which I think is, they still look like the dorky Hey Arnold characters, which I think is fantastic. And it sounds like they got most of the original cast, too. They got the voice of Arnold, but it sounds like that person's playing a different character. Maybe their voice has aged too much in the last 20 years or something. But it sounds like it's going to be a fairly faithful recreation of Hey Arnold. So, thumbs up.
Well, didn't his friend, change voices 3 times?
Did he?
Because I remember what they did was, if you saw the episode where his friend got his tonsils taken out.
Yes.
And that was an in-universe excuse for why his voice changed.
Oh, that's
because
so
they
funny.
got tired of replacing that character. I think that's the story behind that. I don't remember.
I just got really excited when I was watching a pro wrestling show the other day, and they referenced the Stoop Kid episode of Hey Arnold. It was just like the most esoteric pop culture reference you could possibly come up with. It was amazing. Who, if I recall, was voiced by Bobby Budnick from Salute Your Shorts.
Nickelodeon had quite a stable that they would always pull from.
And then and Rocko's Modern Life, that's the newest one that the rumor is. I think that one's going to come out a lot later. They haven't released any details about that one yet.
Is that going to be live action?
It should be.
It should be. Carlos, I don't know his last name, but the guy that did the voice for Rocko's Modern Life, he was on Reno 911.
Really? Wait, who was he?
I can't think of the name of the guy.
I wouldn't know the characters' names anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why I asked.
IMDb, come on. No, getting back to actual video games, though, I remember IMDbing the culprit from Nancy Drew number 4. I don't know why I was looking up Nancy Drew voice actors, but apparently her voice actor's credit is she's the culprit in Nancy Drew number 4, and in 2012 she was voted Seattle's best bartender by the Seattle Times. I don't know if her career went up or down after Nancy Drew.
Video games. So there's a new Nancy Drew game allegedly coming out next month. Is that true?
No, nobody knows when it's coming
No?
out. When was the last? They used to release 2 games a year, and then the last game was March of last year.
Yeah, no, I was looking. I don't know why I was, but I was looking up information about it's the Salem whatever game.
Yeah, Midnight in Salem.
I found an announcement from it from 2015. Why is it not out yet? The entire Oarok Studios library has come out since this game was announced.
Well, the storyline behind that is, they had, I guess the company's not doing so well, and they had to let go of a lot of people, so they had to get rid of pretty much their entire art crew and the programmers.
Oh.
I don't know what's a nice way to say it, but apparently the company has stalkers who followed them up on LinkedIn and some other job website to keep track of these people. It seems creepy to me, but that's how we know that they let go a bunch of people. And
okay. Well, I wonder how badly the next game has to do before we can get the Nancy Drew license for ourselves.
Yeah. Well, considering that they sold the license to what's that game, DX or No, I mean THQ, you know, those guys, and they made some really awful Nancy Drew games for the handheld, for the DS.
Oh yeah. Wait, did they make the Wii one too, or who was that?
That was Sega, but I mean,
Okay.
It really wasn't Sega. It was them porting it. You know, they handed the job off to somebody else, who handed the job off to somebody else, who ported the game to Wii.
Okay.
And thought, hey, you know, an adventure game where you have a 4-second delay in between every single screen. People will put up with that, right?
Oh.
So speaking of adventure games, didn't you play like an old adventure game recently?
Me? Probably.
Didn't you just like
Oh, no.
post it the world's first adventure game with pictures?
I wasn't playing it. I've been reading this blog. It's called The Adventure Gamer, where it's a bunch of different bloggers like going through basically the history of adventure games and writing what basically amount to Let's Play videos, but they're written articles. So like each, you know, they go paragraph by paragraph talking about their experiences through the games. So I was reading about that one and getting inspired by the art style. I think we could probably do something like that. But it's a really good blog, actually. If anyone's interested in adventure games, you should check it out. It's advgamer.blogspot.com. Like the past year, I've been trying to catch up on them because they've been doing this since 2013. I think they just got up to Monkey Island 2.
Oh, that's thorough.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I wasn't actually playing. I don't think I could play it. It wouldn't go well. I'm really bad at those old adventure games where you can get stuck and die and miss items and stuff like that. I love everything about like old Sierra games, except at times playing them. To be honest, like I really enjoy watching people play them. I really enjoy reading about the history of the company, reading about the games they make. But I get so stressed out trying to play them. Like, cause some of them, like you can be playing for hours and hours and hit a dead end. Like it's rough. It's rough.
I kind of feel the same way. I've barely really stuck my toes in that water just because I know I could be playing for hours and die and then get super angry.
Yeah, you forgot to kill the rat and 30 minutes into the game, and that gets you stuck 6 hours into King's Quest 2, something like that.
Yeah, it's
So did the blog ever go into the Scott Adams text adventure games?
No, see, that's why that's how Mystery House. That's the game we were referencing before. That's how that came out. So they started with. I don't even remember the name of the game, but they started in 1984 with specifically point-and-click adventure games. But they've also since then been recently going back and doing what they called Missed Classics, where they are going back and doing some of these older ones that they kind of skipped before. So that's why Mystery House just came up. So I imagine some Scott Adams games will be coming up as well.
Okay, because, I mean, I've never played any of these Scott Adams games, but the way I've heard it described is sort of like how they describe Agatha Christie writings, where it's basically the person was the head of the field and every game had some sort of crazy plot twist or new idea that nobody had come up with before.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's wow, it's great to have that reputation, but after a while you've got to run out of ideas. You can only have so many surprise murderers in your mystery books.
Yeah, well, that's why we have to invent our own genre, I think, so we can, really blaze some territory, make stuff no one's never thought of before. So even if, for example, the graphics are all photos and people complain about it, it'll still be cool because it's a unique gameplay.
It was the first.
Yes, exactly. Not that I'm annoyed about people's reaction to Cat President or anything.
Really? People hate it because their photos?
I don't know. I complain about the complainers, but really it's a small fraction of the feedback. If you look at the Steam page, it's almost all positive reviews. There's 2 negative, and everything else is talking about how it's a great game and they laughed a lot and stuff like that.
I just don't.
You really should have put some cat videos in there. If there's one thing the internet really needs more of, it is cat videos. It's a real whole.
See, that's. That's the problem, is that neither of us actually owns a cat, which really caused some issues for us. For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, Michael and I released a game a couple of weeks ago, a visual novel dating sim called Cat President, A More Perfect Union, where you follow one of 6 cats on the campaign trail and possibly fall in love with them. It's a very good game.
See, I'm just surprised that the visual novel genre just doesn't go with pictures more often, because it's a lot more effort to, like, draw out characters and give them lots of poses. It's a lot easier to just steal pictures from Flickr.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, that's what's kind of interesting about the feedback, is that the most negative stuff in that regard has been coming from, like, super visual novel fans who, like, expect a real high level of drawn, specifically anime art. Although I guess it doesn't have to be that, but they get upset when it's not that, and I mean, and a lot of people talk about how too or I shouldn't say a lot, but people talked about how a lot of the images in the game were from Flickr or from other stock websites, but a significant portion of them too were also taken by us or by our friends. Like, it's not all stock art. Like, I spent days just like driving around getting pictures for this game, specifically going to like weird shady malls and bars and stuff like that to get the perfect backgrounds.
Wasn't there, like, you had me when I got stuck at the airport in like Ohio or somewhere, you just said, Michael, just take a bunch of pictures.
Yeah, it was really helpful. I needed all those backstage meeting room shots.
Yeah.
That one really great background with what was it, like some kind of birds painted on the wall?
Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah, it's the Cincinnati airport.
Yeah, and like when we were working on the game at the same time that my wife Lizzo was being flown around the country doing job interviews. So every time they put her up in a hotel, I would make sure to get a hotel picture. That's why we were able to get like 18 different hotel photos in the game. I mean, that's the other thing too. Like, if we were drawing these, or if more likely paying someone to draw these, like, we would not have been able to have the number of backgrounds, the number of scenes in this game that we have. Like, there's like 110 different scenes that you visit in this game. It would have been like 15 if we were paying someone to draw them. Would have really limited the scope of the game.
Everybody uses the exact same hotel every single time.
Yeah, that's what it would have been, exactly. Like, there would have been one hotel, there would have been one debate, there would have been one airport. Like, everything would have looked exactly the same, and I don't know, I think it would have been more dull. And the same thing with, like, the cat photos, too. Like, and I'm sorry I'm going on about this, but I haven't had an outlet for this since forever. The cat photos too, like, I really think that the game would lose something in its like silliness and its comedy without the cat photos. I think they really like help enhance the general weirdness of the game. I think it would be less funny if they were just like anime drawings or whatever.
It is. It's a stylistic choice. It is funnier that way.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of that joy of FMV that we like as well.
No, has the blog gone up? Is the blog going to cover FMV games?
FMV adventure games specifically, yeah. Like, they're gonna get to Phantasmagoria and Gabriel Knight 2. Actually, they might have already. I'm still like, I'm only in December 2014, so reading posts.
Yeah, because wasn't like Phantasmagoria released on Steam recently?
Yes, it was. A whole bunch of Sierra games were.
It's actually on Humble Bundle right now.
Yes. Did you get it?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
I thought I had it already. I was amazed I didn't already have it, so I was like, all right, give me that.
Yeah, well, a bunch of the games in that bundle, not all of them, but a bunch, like, just, like, were released on Steam 2 days ago, like, before the bundle came out. kind of got a feel for the people who bought the games right then and didn't wait 2 days. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's it's like all of what, like Police Quest and Space Quest, Phantasmagoria.
I love Police Quest.
And if like you pay the $20 tier, you get the brand new King's Quest game that just came out, or that it's an episodic game, so it's in the process of coming out. But like it sells by itself for $30. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I was kind of bummed out though, because a lot of the Humble Bundles now, like the high level has a shirt. I wanted a shirt. I wanted like a Phantasmagoria shirt or something.
be so cool.
But they skimped out.
Man. Yeah. I actually haven't, like, as much as I've been, like, I mentioned on Twitter and stuff, I didn't actually buy it myself because I own almost all of those games on, some of them, like, 3 or 4, like the King's Quest series, I own, like, 3 or 4 different versions of it at this point, I think. Like, I can line the boxes up on my shelf. But I think a t-shirt would have pushed me over the edge. So, what video games has everyone been playing?
Right now, I don't even know why, but I'm in the middle of No Man's Sky. I've been done with it since an hour after I played it, but it has this like mobile game feel to it where you just keep going back and you're like, I'm just gonna shoot a few more rocks, and you don't know why, but you have to.
I shudder to think what you've been naming creatures and planets and things like that.
Nothing.
Nothing? Oh, I thought
Actually,
that was a thing.
No, I have. No, I'm kidding. Yes,
Oh.
those are all terrible, horrible things. For a while, that even grew thin after a while. I was just like, whatever. Like, I just discover new things every 2 steps I take, so I can only type in so many vulgarities until I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah. This is going to be a weird transition, but with Pokemon Go, I know you've played it, Paul.
Of course.
So, I have no idea how gyms work. I tried them out. It's basically you go there, pick a Pokemon, and then watch as they die instantly. That's how it's worked for me.
Got it.
But is it a thing for people to come up with like ridiculous names for a Pokemon that's on the gym? Because the gym leader Pokemon gets seen by everyone?
I hope it is. It should
No,
be.
you actually can't see the name of other people's Pokemon on the gym.
Really?
Yeah, because for a long time I was capturing gyms thinking I was being clever and using them as a billboard, so I named all my Pokemon neonbomb.com.
Yes.
So I would put them in gyms hoping it was a billboard. And then I
man.
realized you can't see that. You can only see that it's like a Rattata or something.
Oh.
Wait, is your store a Pokestop?
Next door is a Pokestop,
Okay.
so I kind of pretend like it is. And there's a gym a block away.
That's awesome. Like some of the local businesses around here, not as much lately. I think the game's started to die down, but they'll put lures down basically all day to kind of draw people. Like there was an ice cream stand where they kept putting lures down to get people to come over there and buy ice cream.
Yeah, we'll do that too.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's fantastic.
Okay.
It was great the first week or two, but then the games really died down. It's amazing how they let that cash cow just go.
Yeah.
They just let it die, and I don't know how they could fail at making that just a huge billion-dollar phenomena.
Well,
and now
it is,
everyone's quitting.
It is such like just shallow gameplay, I think. And, like
Yeah.
if they'd been able to spend more time working on it, adding more stuff, like I'm sure they're going to be rolling out new features. But if they had some of that stuff in from the begining, maybe it would have been able to keep people in a little longer.
And it was broken for so long that people were just like, I'm good.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I never like once got the little Pokemon radar thing to work. Like that was just nonsense to me. It was just random images on my phone that meant nothing in the real world.
I successfully tracked a Gengar, and I was really happy.
Well, no, I mean, they did announce, like, the new feature that they're making is, some buddy system. But I don't know.
Yes. No, it's something like you choose one of your Pokemon to tag along with you, and it levels up when you walk. Is that it? Or gains power or something?
Mm-hmm.
I avoid walking at all costs. That's no good.
Well, I think what they really need, and this isn't going to happen, but I really need the app to be able to count steps for hatching eggs and for this stuff without me, like, having the app be the main thing I'm running. Because, like, I'll have my phone out when I'm going out for, like, a run or whatever. I'd love for that to count for my Pokemon, but it can't because I'm playing music or, like, I'm, tracking my miles or whatever. I need that as the primary window. So, man, I would have, like, the most, like, swole Pokemon team right now.
Yeah, and if they think I can keep that open all day, they are really flattering their battery optimization, because that's not a thing that can happen.
Oh, it's still my favorite thing when the game like was first released, just seeing like packs of like 20-somethings like jacked into their power source around like
Oh yeah,
strapped around their. Oh, I love that.
that was amazing. The very first week was actually astonishing. Just going downtown, and I would see like 50 people just huddled around nothing, but they'd all be huddled around it, and it was amazing to see. It was really cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really cool like tool for getting people to go outside. And I wish they were able to follow through on it a little more. I mean, I don't know. Maybe by the time this podcast comes out, they'll release the new update and everyone will be obsessed with it again. But I kind of feel like it burned brightly and it's done at this point.
Yeah, it seems that way. It's at least dying down a bit to the hardcore fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, our library has local library has take a picture of a Pokemon with your library card in the picture, and they'll give you a free Pokemon card.
That's pretty cool.
So the daughter collects Pokemon cards. She doesn't play Pokemon. She just collects the cards because she thinks they look neat. and the library is a Pokestop, so every time I go to the library, I try to make sure to get the picture and get her a card.
Yeah, I mean, there have been times where we walked around and like we have this like outdoor mall in the downtown area, so we'll just kind of like not so much now, but we'd walk up and down like hitting there's like 5 or 6 different Pokestops right there, so we just keep hitting them, and there's like EVs all over the place, stuff like that. But yeah, not so much now.
Okay.
I bet it's really good for or was really good for car rides too for kids. Just sit in the back and just like collect Pokemon for an hour.
Yeah.
No, you can't do it while you're in the car anymore.
No?
I got the screen that says it's like, whoa, you're going too fast. It's like Pokemon Go cannot be used while driving.
No, you can, if you close the pop-up, I think the Pokemon still appear.
Oh, that's crazy. Cool.
I guess I haven't been testing it that thoroughly, to be honest, but...
Well, I did it while running up the stairs to my house, so apparently I was running like super fast.
That's awesome.
I think it's probably just a GPS messed up. But...
Yeah, no, I definitely got the message while I was standing still one time. So, so what else, Michael? What other games have you been playing?
I'm playing the I think it's Campfire Mystery. No, Campfire. I'll just look up the name. Campfire Legends, I think. Campfire Legends trilogy. I think that's it. Yeah, it's Campfire. It's basically just a trilogy, and the premise is just a bunch of people sit around a campfire and tell scary stories. So the first game is about an evil hook man, and the second game is about a babysitter who gets taken to a basement lab and tortured. And then the third game is the sister of the babysitter trying to find out what happened to her sister, and she also gets trapped in the basement lab.
Fun. It sounds like Are You Afraid of the Dark, the game.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's pretty fun. Yeah.
It's like Hidden Object, or?
Yeah, that's the problem. It's awful.
Yeah.
Hidden objects. And game number 3 is the only one where, like, the game really forces you to work for hints to try to get hints, which is just no fun. Game number 3 is the one that has like if you've used up all your hints and you just wait 2 minutes, they give you a free hint. But who's gonna sit around and wait 2 minutes unless you're really, really stuck? So I give it a thumbs down on that front. But story-wise, it was a fun game. Going back to the Nancy Drew stuff, part of the reason it's been delayed is that they wanted to switch platforms, because they just used an in-house platform since 1996 or something, and they just kept on changing it and messing around with it. But now they're trying to switch over to Unity so they can release the game for iPad as well. Because I remember they tried to get that one game on the iPad, but it didn't work. They had a Kickstarter for it.
Right. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, for Nancy Drew
Yeah.
Lost Tomb, and it didn't even make like a tenth of what they expected. So they did release game number 27. No, I mean, they did release one of their games for the iPad, and that ended up being... I wouldn't say a failure. I think it went well, but I just... they had to, like, in order to make it not a humongous size for the iPad, they had to, like, re-render every single one of the animations. And you can tell that they're using, less high-quality characters and such.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, why is Wade blurry all of a sudden?
When did the most recent game come out, did you say?
It was May 2015.
Oh.
And they announced that they're, they let go of the voice actress who does Nancy Drew.
Oh.
I don't know, Lonnie Manella's a good voice actress. At least she's still got other games. I don't know. You see, I think the thing is, I mean, I remember submitting like a Nancy Drew speed run to Speed Demos Archive, and the first thing they did was just make fun of Lonnie Manella's voice. It's like, whoa.
Oh, jeez.
I'll believe Nancy's 18 if she's been smoking cigarettes for 17 of those years.
Let's go solve this mystery.
I always forget what series she does. I know she was in Super Smash Brothers. She played the Earthbound characters.
Oh, really?
In Smash Brothers. Which I guess, I mean, they don't have official voice actors, so why not just get somebody to do it?
It's fun. So wait, is that, like, how far back does that go? Is that, like, her shouting whenever I'm just, like, spamming PK Thunder at people in the N64 game?
I think... Yeah, I'll check. Let's look it up now. Smash Bros. She's been in Smash Brothers Wii U, Smash Brothers DS... Smash Brothers Brawl, that's as far as it goes. She did Pit, Pit, Lucas, and Lynn for Brawl.
Okay. That's pretty cool, though.
Did they have the Earthbound characters in the first? I think they did.
The N64 NES, I think, right? And that's it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I remember playing that game because I've never played Earthbound before, but one of the items in that game is that Earthbound, the character with like 2 feet and a giant nose. Yeah, that one. Yeah. I'm like, what is that monstrosity?
It looks like a reject from like a Dutch cartoon. It's very strange.
Yeah, but then I actually saw Paul play Earthbound, and it's like, oh, now it makes sense.
That playthrough, it's almost upsetting to me how many people have watched me play Earthbound. I don't like it. Like, we needed to cap that at like 50 people. Like, that's more than enough people that should be sitting around watching me play Earthbound.
Oh man, she's done the voice of the Koopa kids since like 2009, since New Super Mario Brothers Wii.
Oh, jeez, she doesn't even need the Francie Drew series.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Or did I say Francie Drew? I did, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
All right.
Are we going to? Is that game coming out anytime soon?
It's on the schedule, but next is going to be The Beard in the Mirror in a few months. And then we just teased this on Twitter, but I might as well announce it to the podcast too. Life in the Dorms is finally coming to PC.
Woo!
Yeah.
Not sure when. Early next year, probably, but don't hold me to that. So Francie Drew 2 will be probably sometime after that.
When is Who Am I? The Let's Play disaster.
Well, that'd be something for us to talk about, because we were talking about maybe like trying to group them all together as one big release on like Steam Greenlight. So I don't know, maybe we want to just not even release them individually, just release them as a set. I'm not sure. Depending on if we can come up with a cool name for the set, that is.
Yeah, that's going to be the main problem, is coming up with names for video games. I mean, even going back to like the Scott Adam Adventure games, I looked at these titles. It's like Adventureland, Pirate Adventure, The Count, Mystery Funhouse, Ghost Town. It's like coming up with video game titles is hard.
Really super is. Like, how many emails did we send back and forth just to settle on Cat President?
Cat President was like the working title, and we couldn't think of a better one.
We just gave
for
up.
Years, so we
Well,
just...
no, you had that really good one. I really liked America's Next Cat President. I thought that was so evocative, and until it turned out there was a reality show with basically that name. Like America's Next Cat Celebrity or something like that. Yeah. Or My Cat is Running for President. I sort of had a soft space in my heart for that one, but that sounded too much like it was your pet cat, unfortunately.
Not your boyfriend cat.
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised there haven't been more people upset about that part of the game. The whole dating cats thing, but I guess that's normal now.
I guess
Oddly enough, yeah, I think there's a good amount of games where you can date animals on Steam now.
Nobody played the frisky pathway. Is there like one pathway that's more popular than the others?
Oh, I've seen a lot of people who really like Dr. Nom Noms.
Why?
Ouch.
I guess everybody liked the politician he's based on.
No, it's interesting because I watched a couple of live streams, and one was Dr. Nom Noms, and the person was getting really into it. She was doing like this goofy Russian accent for Dr. Nom Noms the whole game, and everyone in the audience was like, "Wow, this game is so weird and cool." And then like the next day, I watched someone streaming. I want to say it was DJ Nibbles, and there were two Twitch people doing it, and they were kind of into it, but they were also really into wearing goofy hats. Like, they had this bit going on the whole time with one of the commentators was like just stacking giant hats on top of herself, and everyone in the audience was paying a lot more attention to that than the game itself. It's really weird to watch people stream a game that you made.
I bet it is.
It's kind of upsetting.
It's a game that you've been working on. We've been working on. I wrote it in November, so
yeah.
It comes out in September.
Yeah.
Oh, should I even bother trying to write the Banders DLC?
We can keep thinking about it. I'm not sure. I'd have to still figure out how DLC works. It was real fun to figure out how updates work when I had to submit an update to the game.
Yeah.
It turns out it's actually like I thought like I would have to make like a separate patch file and upload that, but no, it was really just like I update the game on my computer and then I send that to Steam and then it like patches on everyone's machine automatically.
That's good.
I thought it was going to be way harder than that. So I mean, for all I know, maybe DLC works the same way. Like, I just make a build of the game that includes this pathway, and then if you download the DLC, it updates to that build, maybe. Something like that. But I don't know. That would be great if that's what it was, because that would make it really easy to do.
I was seeing a lot of reviews of people asking for cards.
Well, there are trading cards. No achievements.
Oh,
yeah, there should be.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I set the unlock rate to be too long. That's the thing it lets you do too. Is like you set how the intervals that the Steam trading cards unlock at. I forget what I set it to actually, but maybe I made the intervals a little too long for people. But yeah, there's if I recall, there's cards just for all of the candidates. And then like if you make cards on Steam, it turns out you have to make like emoticons and backgrounds and badges and like 600 other things. So if you collect enough trading cards, I'm pretty sure you can get emoticons of me and Michael on your Steam. So
I'm gonna work on that.
So that's
Just leave
exciting.
the game open in the background.
Yeah. No, people should definitely be trading these cards because I think we make money on each sale of a trading card. So absolutely.
I'm pretty sure you do, yeah.
So absolutely do that. Yeah, it's been a real fun experience learning how Steam works. This was all like completely new to me.
Even though this is like the third game you've submitted to
Well,
Steam.
no, we'd only but none of them were finished. This is the first one I've finished. But like all of our other games had just been released on itch.io, which works very, very differently. Like, is itch.io like you make a build and you go on the itch.io website and you upload the file just like directly and that's it. Steam, like I had to download all the Steamworks stuffs and like run through the Steam command file, which is like DOS basically. Like I had to upload it through DOS, which was very, very surprising. I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to be sharing these details or not. I should probably stop here. But it's weird and fun to learn.
Yeah. What would it be like if older video games had Steam? I don't know. NES games had achievements. What would they be?
Oh man.
Podcast topic, yes. Jump
Like,
10,000 times in Super Mario Brothers. I don't know.
You'd get a lot of some of the really harder NES games. Like you would be working hard to get those achievements to like beat the game, even like Ninja Gaiden stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
that would be hard enough.
Yeah. And then
a lot of those games don't need a few extra degrees of difficulty.
Yeah. No, I'm just predicting. I'm picturing Nintendo releasing like a printer, like they had like the Game Boy printer that like prints out actual physical trading cards as you unlock them, and that sounds kind of fantastic.
I can see that.
Okay, we still got like 5 or 10 minutes left, and then we'll wrap up the podcast. We already said what games we've been playing now. We've already talked about. Is there any recent gaming news?
I got really excited. Have you guys been reading at all about? Probably not, but the new Telltale Batman game that's been coming out lately.
I've heard about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about Batman at all, but it has a really cool multiplayer feature. Like it works all like Jackbox. Like it gives you a room code, and anyone can log into your game with their mobile device, and you can set it so everyone votes on like the dialogue decisions and stuff that you make instead of like you just controlling it directly. Which
that's cool.
Is a super fascinating way to do. Like, I mean, it's essentially a multiplayer visual novel. Like that's really, really cool.
That is really neat. Yeah, I like that. I could probably. I think that's probably geared toward your like Twitch TV and stuff.
That's the thing though. They say they actually explicitly say it should be local only because the lag when you're streaming it wouldn't like jive with the game. Like by the time the decision timer runs out, like it'll just be showing the decision timer on people's screens. So they actually explicitly say it should only be a local experience until like we can get one-to-one streaming. But yeah, it does sound like it's made for that. Like, oh man, that would be so good.
Yeah, it sounds like a Twitch plays Batman thing, like that
Yes.
Pokemon thing they did.
Yeah.
I mean, it would get me interested in Batman, which is quite a feat. So, God, now we're gonna get comments about that.
Yeah. Do you know if it's at all related to those current Batman games? Batman, Arkham Asylum?
No, it didn't look like it. It looks like it's based on mainly the comics.
Okay.
It's got that aesthetic anyway.
Because I never could get into... actually, I've never played the Batman Arkham games, so it's wrong to me to say I never could get into them, but from what I've seen, it looks like the sort of game I'd love playing, except it's just too gigantic, and it takes forever to get from, like, point A to point B.
Yeah. No, I mean, these are just like, the Walking Dead game. I mean, it's the Telltale game, basically. Like, they have their cookie cutter, and they use it quite a bit. It's, you walk around, you talk to people, you decide who lives and who dies, all that kind of stuff.
I don't remember that in Back to the Future. What?
Well, Back to the Future was like one of the last ones they made of the old, like, they don't really make like straight adventure games like that anymore. It was like right after that they switched over to The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us, like all these, like, I mean, they are essentially like 3D visual novels, like where the chief gameplay is you choosing dialogue responses and then like making big impactful decisions that have repercussions throughout the series. Like that's like The Walking Dead was their first one, and it kind of like was huge for them, so they kind of stuck with that. It's the same thing as like Life is Strange too. Life is Strange is very similar gameplay. If you played that or watched that at all,
He has to decide whether his best friend lives or dies, and his best friend is also a talking pie.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, wait, we should be working on one of these. But that's what it is. I mean, the gameplay really is very reminiscent of visual novels to me. I think that's one of the sort of thing that would make a lot of people angry if I said Walking Dead is a visual novel. But get rid of the parts where you walk around, and it is.
Get rid of the walking. Yeah. Get walking out of Walking Dead.
Yeah, fair point. I don't know. I poke fun, but I actually really like most of those games, at least the ones that are based on licenses that I'm into. Not so much like the Minecraft and Batman ones they've been making lately, but Walking Dead's really good.
I've liked those from what I've played. They are a lot of fun. They offer a little more than just looking at stuff, picking up stuff. Just enough to kind of mix it up a little, but not so much that I'm like, this isn't an adventure game. This is just an action game. They are fun.
Yeah, a lot of quick time puzzles, stuff like that. You have to quickly, push X to jump over a tree in the middle of the stuff like that.
Which I usually don't like, but it works in that context.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, any other games coming out that people are looking forward to, I guess?
You know what? There is... Oh, Cuphead. Have you heard of Cuphead?
I saw a trailer for it a while ago, I think.
I just saw it recently. It looks amazing.
Yeah,
Michael,
is that the one...
you might actually like it.
Cuphead. I'll look
yeah,
it
looks perfectly like 1930s animation. And it's pitch perfect. It's really good, right down to the bouncing knees and everything. It looks like 1930s animation. It looks really wonderful.
Yeah, I remember they did a similar game. I mean, a game with a similar art style. I think... Yeah, I mean, I just like games with cool art styles.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm tired of, drawing pictures for games, because I feel like I can't...
Oh, yeah. We need to hire an artist at some point.
Oh, I'm just complaining, because I finished all the artwork. I finished, 70% of the artwork for Trapped in a Soap Opera yesterday.
Oh.
It's
oh, cool.
It's basically, okay, erase this guy's eyebrows, give him angry eyes, new picture. Erase his eyebrow, erase his mouth, now he's smiling, new picture. It's just...
No, I mean, that works, though, because that's one of the other things that the visual novel people didn't like in Cat President, where aside from Kale and his 10 different hats, we didn't change the character sprites all that much. The cats didn't have expressions. So I mean, it's good even to do that in a small way. I think it helps.
Well, plus I'm also mad at myself for writing really bad descriptions of what the picture should look like. Okay, triumphant. I don't know. I'll look up what I wrote. Determined. I'm I don't know how to draw determined. And snarky too. I'm I looked on the internet, Google search for snarky face, and there is no consistent snarky face picture. Nobody knows what it's supposed to look like.
Oh. Well,
yeah,
in code.
Here we go. Some of my descriptions: bored and deciding to do something because why not? One picture.
That's pretty good.
Explaining stuff and tired of doing it.
I mean, I feel like those are actually really good descriptions. That gives you a very, very specific emotion to work with.
I have a picture in my mind when you said those.
Yeah. I just can't get the picture in my mind onto actual...
onto paper.
Actual Photoshop, yeah.
Oh... But yeah, I really enjoyed, while I've been coding Francie too, I really like specifically Wayne Dowers, is that his name?
Yeah, that's his name, yeah.
I just really like the picture where he's sticking his tongue out. I think it's really funny looking. It makes me really happy whenever I get to use that one.
I'm waiting for...
Look forward to that, everyone, in February or whatever.
Do we have any final things to talk about?
I can check real quick to see if there's any more Nickelodeon news. There was something about a one-off episode of Double Dare hosted live on Facebook, but none of those words made sense to me, so I'm not sure what that was about.
So it does just seem like a jumble of words that are quite linked together.
I'm not sure what was going on there.
Was Mark Summers involved?
He was, I think, yeah.
Although I feel like it would be kind of hollow without everyone else there. He needs like Harvey and Robin to riff off of. That's kind of what made it.
I only looked at the headline, so maybe they were there for all I know.
Oh boy!
It was on Facebook Live, and I don't know what Facebook Live is, but Mark Summers was there.
I've never heard of Facebook Live in my life.
Twitch plays Double Dare.
Okay, so it's basically they did Double Dare at the San Diego Comic-Con. That's it. That's what happened. And then they streamed it on Facebook, and I guess Facebook must have paid for it to happen or something. So, people who participated were the cast members from All That.
Oh,
and
no
then
way, really? Oh.
random Nickelodeon employees.
Alright, this is what I'm watching tonight, if it's on YouTube somewhere.
Hey.
Actually, wait, that's weird. All That cast on Double Dare, that's like a weird like combination of Nickelodeon eras. Because I feel like Double Dare and All That didn't even cross paths. Like there was a gap between those two things coming out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
They just need like the cast of you can't do that on television, running the cameras, and then it's gonna be nuts.
Okay, so I guess this is probably going to be our last podcast for a while until podcast number 150 or 200 or whatever they decide to do.
They drag us out of the balls.
They'll
Put
drag
me
us
back in my storage closet.
Yeah. The creepy uncles will come out for Thanksgiving.
Oh no, we're the creepy uncles now. Oh no, we should not have used that term.
That's actually a good Double Dare team name.
Yeah.
Oh man, wait, we need to do creepy uncles versus the GameCola college kids. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, isn't GameCola family game night something that's still...
Yes, it is.
They recently revived it. They figured out how to do it?
More or less, yeah. We I was there. We did it last Friday. We did Jeopardy NES with Jetty controlling it and us shouting when we knew the answer. We were all playing together against the computer. We played multiple times and lost, so it didn't go great.
There's no Double Dare NES that we've got to do,
there
right?
might be.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know there are 5 versions of Jeopardy for the NES, and only one of them is playable.
I think there was a sports one for NES, so if you want to see GameCola really struggle.
Yeah.
No, we struggled with normal version. It was
modern
rough.
sports would be difficult, but this is
Let
90s.
alone 1986 sports trivia.
We also did this impromptu session of a D&D kind of thing. It was kind of weird. Joseph Martin just off the top of his head narrated a D&D campaign for us set in a train. It was pretty fantastic actually. He was really good for, as I say, just coming up with it off the top of his head. It was cool.
I need to do that for the Nancy Drew Hardy Boys RPG cast, which everybody seemed to love, but I don't want to put the effort into writing something out.
No, talk to Joe, because apparently he figured out how to just make it all up on the fly, so...
Oh, yeah, okay.
It was an in-depth mystery, too, with clues and stuff for us to find, which we didn't. We did really, really bad at, but it was all there. Yeah, this should all be up on YouTube at some point. I don't think it's there yet, but we did it live on Twitch.
We need to send this send the recording stuff to Nicholas Suprak so he can record Zero Escape 3 for everyone.
Playing these freaking games for the rest of our lives.
Oh, wait, new Phoenix Wright coming out on Thursday.
Oh, how did we go an hour without talking about that?
Oh, that's something we should have done. Remember our original GameCola podcast series where we talked about Phoenix Wright case by case, and we talked about
case 1-3, I think, right?
No,
yeah.
we did case 1-4. We can actually finish off game number 1 here.
Oh yeah, because I remember everything about that.
That was the one where
that was the bonus one.
Yeah, it was the bonus case that was made for the DS release. And, it was for all the people who had played the Game Boy version, so they would want to get the DS release. But they had the guy who was a cowboy.
Yeah, he had really cool music.
Yeah, and they had, Lana Sky and Ema Sky, who is basically, Maya 2.0. I don't know why they were reluctant to bring Maya back, so they gave you a character who's just like Maya, except she has a crush on Edgeworth.
Well, Maya can't have a crush on Edgeworth because she's with Phoenix forever, so there's that.
Well, that's obviously what's going to happen in the new game coming out.
God, I don't... Here's a big secret. I don't know that I'm going to play this one. The games have just, Apollo Justice was a real valley for the series, but I feel like even since then, they've been better, but each successive game that comes out just waters down the series and makes me more sad every time I play it. I actually, this is fresh in my mind because I've used the Time Hop app with Twitter, and it was reminding me this time 2 years ago I was tweeting about how disappointed I was in the new game and how I kept falling asleep while playing it. So I don't know.
Yeah, you must.
I want it to be good.
Well, what do you think needs to happen for the game to be good? It sounds like, for the first time ever, I think there are 6 cases, so, the most any game has had is 5, so I feel like maybe that's a step in the right direction.
I want it to be a whole game of, the bonus case from the last one with the dolphins. I like the dolphins case.
Just random, unrelated stuff. I feel like that would be a good idea, too. No.
But I also like it when, there's, a storyline going through all the cases. I don't know why, I just wasn't super into it. I know a lot of it was because, and I think they fixed this in the new game, but in that one, you couldn't, examine stuff. Wasn't that the one where you just go screen to screen and just, talk to people?
You can't examine anything at the crimes.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of lame. I don't know.
There are only certain rooms that you could examine stuff, and that was because of 3D investigation. Those were the only rooms you could examine stuff in. And spoiler alert, it really wasn't 3D, had nothing to do with 3DS. It was just, you could look at a picture, you could look at something drawn from 2 different angles. That's 3D.
Yeah, it's cool that Maya's coming back, but it feels like it's 3 games too late, Yeah,
but I feel like...
And I also don't believe that she's actually in it. I don't think for a second that she's actually going to be there. They've teased us for too long.
I feel like the reason why it's split up into 6 cases is because half of them are Phoenix having adventures with Maya, and then the other half is just Apollo and Athena doing whatever.
The B team.
The B team, basically. So I don't know how the game's going to handle that. It feels like they're going to put all the effort into the Phoenix storyline, and then Apollo's just going to get kicked to the side because he's awful.
I'm sure I'm gonna get it eventually. I'll probably I'll have a moment of weakness and buy it, but hopefully I can at least make myself wait to read reviews and see if people can convince me that it's interesting.
Maya becomes a drunken piano bum. It would be great.
That's what I'm expecting. I don't know. I feel like the recent games have all had flashes of really cool, interesting stuff. And then, like I said, just parts where I'm just literally falling asleep while playing it, which is not really what I want out of a Phoenix Wright game.
Yeah, that was probably the problem with game number 5. It's oh boy, case number 1 was interesting and great. The courtroom exploded, and somebody tried to kill Apollo, and it was great. And then all of a sudden, we're playing with Japanese demons.
Yeah. I think it was what cases 2 and 3, I think, were real rough. The one with
awful.
wrestlers and something, which you'd think would appeal to me as a wrestling fan, but no, it did not work.
Attention, listeners, there may be some Phoenix Wright spoilers in this podcast. I think it's prudent to tell you that now.
Yeah.
Sorry, you probably haven't played it, have you, Christian?
No, but I don't really. I'm gonna play it eventually, but it'll be far in my backlog, and I'll probably play it when I'm 50.
Yes.
No, we won't spoil it.
You're I remember when Paul and Michael ruined this for me.
They said there was wrestlers in it. I really wanted that to be a surprise.
It's made me want to play it now, so it's kind of bumped it up.
It shouldn't.
The more someone tells me a game is bad, the more I'm like, we'll see about that. But if people tell me something's good, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it is.
Well, the problem is there's no actual wrestling. I think we learn out that the victim was a wrestler, and it's like, oh, we don't actually see people do cool wrestling.
We make a game about cool wrestling.
Oh man, that would actually be the perfect segue into turning Phoenix Wright into Mexican wrestler El Santo, who has a series of movies. He was an actual wrestler in Mexico, and a lucha libre wrestler, so the masked guy. And he would have he had this series of movies where he was a dead serious like detective kind of Batman, like Mexican Batman, but he would never take off the mask ever. So he'd be like on a date at a high-end restaurant with a lady with a big silver mask on his face. It'd be great. They're a great series of movies. I believe they beat Dracula.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
So that's
So
what
that
Phoenix
would be a good
Wright,
segue.
yeah.
That's where Phoenix Wright is going.
Man, if Apollo was secretly a luchador, I would fall in love with the series all over again.
He is ripped.
That would do it.
So, I did comment
listening,
on that, the
Capcom?
animation of Apollo. It's like, he's working out for a guy who sits at a desk all day and files paperwork. He's way more buff than he needs to be.
But yeah, so the new game comes out a few weeks as of this recording, right? September or something or other.
Yeah,
It looks like September 8th.
Oh, geez. That's a week from today. Less than a week. Wow.
Yeah.
People might be playing it by the time this episode comes out.
They'll let us know that they'll be mad
boy.
because that Apollo is a wrestler in the game and you just spoiled it for them.
Can we just tell Batman and Phoenix Wright fans not to listen to this episode? That would be fantastic.
Oh yeah, and there are 2 DLC cases. One of them, which is basically like case 1.5. It's basically we're gonna just make up a case which took place during the original trilogy because that's what fans want.
Oh, wait, really? That's chronologically, that's when the case takes place?
Yep.
Okay, I'm interested.
In just the one DLC case. Well, yeah, I mean, that's part of the charm of the DLC case is that it's, does not really affect continuity whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, that's why I liked the some of the manga, not the weird one. The good manga it was non-canon, but these cool little just normal cases that took place during the original trilogy. They were very charming. I really liked them.
Tell me more about this weird one.
I don't think we need to talk about the weird one.
Edgeworth gets turned into an 8-year-old boy so he can have a crush on the 8-year-old girl character.
I'm
I remember that.
just remembering.
What is wrong with humanity?
Isn't there Maya and a cat? Some sort of scene, or some sort of animal. It was not okay.
It was a cat.
No.
Yes. Everybody gets shipped with everybody is the bad manga. No matter how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
Of course.
Edgeworth dreaming of Maya in the shower, or vice versa. It was one of those.
He was in the shower and he was fantasizing about her, and Phoenix dresses up like Edgeworth for some reason.
It was extremely upsetting.
On that note,
You're welcome, everyone.
this has been the GameCola podcast. Thank you for listening for the past 100 podcast episodes.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
I guess, yeah, keep on listening. I don't know how long the podcast is going to keep going. It's going to go forever.
Yeah, we'll be back for episode 150.
Unless we die.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
We'll be complaining
That's
about
very
Phoenix Wright 8
yeah.
at that point.
No, we'll be talking about how cool it is that Apollo became a wrestler.
Yes. Okay, bye everybody.
Bye, guys.
So long.
That is it for the podcast. A big thank you to everyone who has listened to our podcast over the years. We cannot believe that we have actually recorded 100 podcasts. This is an amazing achievement, especially because we never come prepared to any of these podcast things. So, stay tuned for part number 2 of this podcast, hosted by Alex Jedrzak, followed by part 3, hosted by Joseph Martin. For more video game fun, check our website, GameCola.net, gaming beyond the mainstream.